On my analyst now. Thank you, Hoon. Take care. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and congrats on the win. And now we got Cubby and Rafa back on the desk with us. That was a fun interview. That was our first time actually getting to chat with Hoon live on broadcast.
And now we see why Deos said that he's super fun to be around. He's got a lively spirit about him. I like that. Very wholesome.
Exactly. Well, that is it for Dignitas versus Evil Geniuses, though. 2-0. I want to get your final thoughts, though, on Evil Geniuses going forward here, because they were able to pick up a big win yesterday. They looked much stronger. Cubby, what are your thoughts on the difference between EG that we saw yesterday and the EG that we saw today?
I will somewhat write off game 2, as I think that draft was rather unplayable, especially after XU got the triple kill. I think EG, they look like they have more direction, and they're more so on the same direction. And that's something that I feel very much felt the same way about Golden Guardians yesterday, too. And we'll have to see if GG can show some more of that today.
Well, speaking of Golden Guardians, they are our next matchup here. Golden Guardians versus Cloud9. So let's get into the series 2 of the day. Golden Guardians, Cloud9. This is an interesting one because of what Golden Guardians was able to accomplish yesterday. But first up, Cloud9 are looking like a team that is rising up in the standings, Cubby. When we look at Cloud9 Academy, it's almost similar to Spring, where it's like it's taken them a little bit of time to come online, right?
Well, it also took a little bit of time for them to get their roster in. Ever since they have had their full roster, they are 9-3. They've been taking down top teams in the league. They believe, they've said across the board, we feel like we are a team, a roster that can win Academy, can win Proving Grounds. And I think some of the play they're putting on the Rift is really proving that. And it's coming out from everyone across the board. I think this entire team is playing really well right now and have a good opportunity to cement themselves. Talking about Dignitas, if you want to cement yourselves as a top team, you have to put away lower tier teams. Have a chance to do that for C9 today going up against Golden Guardians.
And for clarification, Cloud9 are currently tied for third place in terms of game scores. They are a little bit worse than CLG in series scores, though. So CLG right now in holding that position. But their opponents today, Golden Guardians Academy. Rafa, when we look at a team that has had roster issues, Golden Guardians have not been a team to dodge those themselves.
Yeah, Visa Hell sucks, man. Not gonna front it. But I do think that some of the new changes that are making for permanent going forward, Chime going over to TSM, who will now be playing on the LCS stage, which is huge.
Congrats,
wish
Chime.
Wish him the best of luck as well. Prismal coming in from Jake's Kittens, and alongside, even though we see Choose here on the graphic, it is going to be Ryoma once again, as he is subbing in before Leader will come in for Golden Guardians Academy for the remainder of the split. And I gotta say, in their upset win against Team Liquid Academy yesterday, it was mainly the concept Nasus pick, but I think the rest of Golden Guardians showed that when an opportunity is given to them, they know how to punish and they know how to take the lead.
So I want to play a little game here then, Rafa, because I know that you weren't around for the first half of the split because you were off casting International Grand Finals for another esport. But I want to play a little game where we say expectations versus reality here. We're going to go through a couple of clips. We're going to start with Ryoma, actually, as a player. What was your expectation for him coming into the summer split as a caster based on what we had seen in spring split? And then afterwards, Cubby is going to tell us where he's at currently. So, Rafa, expectations for Ryoma.
Well, I mean, I saw him yesterday, and I was surprised to hear that was his first game in Academy. My expectation was Ryoma's going to get renewed for another split with Golden Guardians, right? Right?
It's got to happen, clearly.
Yeah.
What happened, Cubby?
Well, not the case. Ryoma, it was going to be Leader coming in. Leader's visa is approved, but Leader is still in Europe, so it's Ryoma at least playing for this week. It was Choose before. This one's bittersweet for me because when we talked about Ryoma, what he was able to do as a player outside of lane, he was, not just the best player at his role, but one of the best players that we had in all of Academy. One of the major reasons that Golden Guardians was a top 3 team that we had in all of Academy last split. So to not have Ryoma playing for me has been a really big bummer. And it was really good to see him play yesterday, play at the caliber that I know that Ryoma can play to. And that Golden Guardians, a big win against our top dogs in Team Liquid.
Well, that'll lead into our second player for expectations versus reality. And we're going to take a look at Acadian here in the jungle role. So, Rafa, what was your expectation for Acadian coach coming into the split?
So Acadian, from the time that I've watched him on the LCS stage, he's always come into a team where he wasn't considered the starter at the beginning, but then as things were becoming dicey, I'm blanking on which
3 years in a row. It was 19, 20, and 21. Yeah.
Yeah, 3 years in a row where he came in like halfway as the sub, becoming the new starter, and doing it, to be quite honest, a very admirable job of patching together what some of the problems were. I think it's always a shame that Acadian was never considered, I guess, good enough for LCS teams to be their main starter. But Acadian's always showed the leadership and the experience necessary to be someone that can be a good role player for the team. And it's clear in the Golden Guardians win against Team Liquid, he knows when to capitalize on mistakes.
But is that true throughout the split, Cubby?
I think Acadian has been the best performer on a bad team. With Concept kind of rounding things out now as we move on. For me, Acadian was a member that even when Golden Guardians were really struggling to put a win on the board, I could still see good ideas from Acadian in the early game, still getting a few early leads. But they weren't able to put things together for most of the season. Hopefully, some of the changes can maybe rejuvenate the rest of this team and roster, so we see Golden Guardians to continue to really push more of our academy teams and get ready for Proving Grounds, where they're looking likely to have to face an amateur team in the best of 3.
That's Golden Guardians. So now let's talk about Cloud9. Expectations versus reality. And starting off with a jungler for their team, Shaden. Rafa, what were your expectations for Shaden coming in? Because we had not seen him in Academy.
I'll tell you right now, Kangas, I knew nothing about Shaden even before the split came in and when it was announced, but I knew Cubby was raving about him. So my expectation was, if he doesn't pop off, then Cubby has failed me in terms of setting expectations.
This clip is filthy. Him outplaying Insanity on LeBlanc is so disgusting. And honestly, Shaden's been much better than I thought. Because again, this is a player that we knew there was no other accomplishment that Shaden needed to prove on the solo queue ladder. Rank 1, rank 2, simultaneously. What else can you do in solo queue? But for Shaden, it's been about how can he round himself out in a 5 setting. He's been doing a really nice job of that, especially yesterday. The Poppy, the Gragas games, as you pointed out, Rafa, being that facilitator role, whereas he was known for being someone that's funneling himself in solo queue. I really feel like Shaden is one of the best junglers that we have at Academy already as a rookie. I've been very impressed by him.
The improvement of Shaden has been incredible to watch because, again, I was on the Rafa side, where it's like I didn't have any expectations for this player coming in. I didn't know what to think about Shaden, but as I've seen more and more footage of what he's been able to accomplish on Cloud9, and also Cloud9 raising in the standings as of late, I think Shaden's definitely one of those players that we can look to going forward. How is he going to continue to develop and improve in the Academy ecosystem? Final one, though, before we get into pick and ban, Destiny. As the expectation versus reality. Rafa, close us out here. What was your expectation for this player coming into summer?
He came from Immortals LCS, so I expected him to be at least on the top 5 supports. I had a lot of expectations for him to live up to, and I think the one thing that he's got going is that he's reunited with his former Mammoth bot laner in King.
Yeah, so maybe expectations of the synergy between the two of them already. Cubby, how's it shaken out so far in this summer, though?
Destiny's been really good. He's actually leading the entire league in KDA, sitting at around 14 for a KDA. I think that he's been able to roam, impact the map. Him and King look like one of the better 2v2s.
How's his CSD at 10, though?
Is
that still a stat that we track for supports, or is that a 2021 meme?
Well, the thing is, Kangas, if there's ever 15, a Senna lane with
-2.
If he and King play a Senna lane, then the CS differential numbers actually do matter for Destiny.
True. So clearly they need to play more Senna Tom Kench lanes here to bump up Destiny's CSD numbers. Those are rookie numbers right there.
True.
Thank you, Cubby and Rafa, for playing along for our expectations versus realities. But I am hearing that we are ready to hop into games. So, Rafa, Cubby, take it away for Golden Guardians versus Cloud9.
I'm taking the Kingus. Boom. I've taken it. And now we're back in the draft. Golden Guardians Academy taking on Cloud9 Academy. This is a squad on the right side. want me to do it again? Boom.
Yeah, do it again.
Give me a fist bump. Fist bump me, bro.
Fist bump?
Yeah. Oh, I'm
we do one of those.
Yeah. Hang on. Let me...
Boom. Boom.
Boom.
Yeah.
We did it. Okay,
Freak athletes.
Cloud9 Academy vying or tied at the top 3 in the standings, whereas Golden Guardians, I believe they are either at the bottom or 9th. They are 10th at the moment. So Golden Guardians Academy have a lot of climbing to do to get back in the standings, but it also depends on what is Golden Guardians Academy's goal. And I think with bringing in veterans like Acadian and Ryoma, at least subbing in, the developmental pieces for this roster, I want to look back as we are getting into draft. Concept and Array here.
Honestly, Prismal too. Keep in mind, Prismal is a role swap, even though we have seen a lot of Prismal. And I know I traded some messages with Array yesterday, and honestly, I mean, the whole team, like at least the ones that have been around, they felt better about yesterday. It was a 1-1. They took a really nice game off of Team Liquid where they had a great draft. They played it out nicely. The Nasus, of course, was a good pick, but they played good as a team that game. And I think that what we saw in a GG, even in the losing game, this team has more direction. They are more so on the same page. That is what I'm looking for from them today. So they can continue to try and work as a team. They haven't had a ton of practice under their belt, but seeing them make plays together was something that this team really struggled to do, as it was a team that, you know, kind of looked like it was a dead man walking. That was not the case yesterday against TL, and it's another tough task today against C9, but we'll see if they're up to it. Golden
Guardians have managed to lock down, as you called it, the CEO of 12.12 in Seraphine. Probably one of the most insane champions on the patch, but Cloud9 willing to answer with a Lucian Nami combo. This is one of the ways that you can try and attack Seraphine.
Yeah, don't worry. Seraphine's getting promoted somehow on 12-13 too, so we'll see where she falls then.
Insane.
But it is a Lucian Nami, a pick that we've seen C9 rocking exclusively yesterday in their 2-0, where C9 looked dominant against Immortals. Will be the lane again for King and Destiny. And I'm assuming it's a Kalista here. We already have a Mumu locked in. Kalista is Array's most played champion so far this split. He's been pretty decent at it. As I lied. Okay, I think one of the reasons they aren't locking in Kalista, this does preserve the Seraphine flex. So it will buy them a ban moving forward in draft. And it's already a big wombo combo that Golden Guardians are throwing at C9. But C9 love to play out 3 lanes. We'll see if they adapt to play out 3 lanes here, as I'm assuming Darshan's is going to take a pick in the Gnar. Oh, or
you lied again.
Here we go.
Liar, liar, pants on fire.
Hold on.
Talia.
I threw out 2 hypotheses. All right. Gonna play out 3 lanes. So you know what we're gonna see now? Shaden is going to play Talia jungle, where he is 3-0 on the champion.
Sure.
Talia as a champion, by the way. So I was thinking through some of the champ stats that we have in Academy so far. Talia, 13-2 in Academy across all teams this split. Yeah, it has been a filthy champ. So Shaden and Pretty have been the 2 biggest contributors to that. What C9 likes to do with Talia is they play 2 AD solo laners. That's where Darshan and Copy, I feel like, are really like hitting their stride. You can see Golden Guardians know this, taking away that Aurelia already from Copy.
86% win rate for Talia in Academy so far. That's nuts.
Yeah, 13-2.
That is nuts. Well, Cloud9 are not deterred at all by a potential Kalista from Array. They look to lock down both of Ryoma's answers in the games that he played, or not necessarily the Yasuo, but the Azir that he played both games against Team Liquid yesterday. Copy, gonna make sure that he is thinning out Ryoma's pool.
Yone, those are both very much targeted at Copy. One pick that is up, though, Tryndamere, which could be big. It's, again, dedicated side lane pusher. Tryndamere doesn't feel great into Seraphine and Amumu, but that's in the team fights. If you are allowed to side lane, you are good to go, and it's also a flex pick, as Copy played a lot of it last split, even though we haven't seen it from him this split. But it will be the GP for Darshan, as 180 solo laners long.
Yeah. Would have been nice, because, you know, that note about Copy and Darshan sharing it is that Darshan was the original Tryndamere player in Academy before Tryndamere became big around the world last split. But Darshan was the only person. But on the Gangplank, not only a powerful blind pick, but also a nice answer into the Gnar. This is going to force Golden Guardians to round out their composition here. Ryoma going with a little bit of safety in the Victor. This is all control. This is all team fight power here for Golden Guardians. And I would not be surprised if Cloud9 either say, hey, how do we match this team fight power with Copy's last pick? Or how do we pull apart this composition with maybe some powerful split pushers?
I'd rather see Viego, as Volibear would make this team very magic damage heavy. Amumu actually does buff up your team's magic damage, so you don't want 4 AP still. But 3 AP for the side of Golden Guardians. So no formal marksman. That could hurt as things go later, but it is a wombo combo about getting that first reset. I really like the Victor here because it has a lot of reach. And with all the melee solo laners in Copy's pool being taken off the board, I lied. There's one left. It's going to be his Graves. He loves to play this mid as a going lethality. It was his pick into Ahri throughout Proving Grounds. He would flex it with Darshan in the last meta. And it looks like it could be Graves for Copy, or is it Talia? He's yet to play Talia mid. I assume he can play this, but he's yet to play this split.
Yeah, I mean, both clearly Copy and Shaden are fans of the Graves, as this is also a pick that Shaden has played a few times throughout the split. You would be right that this would be Copy's first Talia game, but we'll wait until the 20-second mark. That is the official time when they have to lock in their champions. And
all right,
boom. Okay, first Talia mid for Copy.
This does change things up a bit. I think that, you know, Shaden, when he's on the Talia, a lot of it is about attacking those solo lanes. Now, with him on the Graves, it's about finding split map scenarios and trying to play quick to the side still. But it's more so just Copy making sure that he's able to get out of lane and work with Shaden to go attack those sides. So I think this is going to be a very bot-focused game for C9, which a bit different. Usually I like to play through Darshan, but with the GP top, Lucian Nami bot, see how C9 can play around King of Destiny.
You said it here, Cubby. We're going to see how it plays out as we get onto the Rift for Game 1 between Cloud9 Academy and Golden Guardians Academy. That does not sound like the LCK chants right there, Cubby.
I could only do it once. You made a sound effect yesterday. I felt like I had to do something.
You know what? I do like that. Oh, hold up. You got to be careful about the level 1. Prismal with the bandage toss.
He's got the teacup of Mumu.
Just wants to make a friend. He wants to have them sit down at a tea party. It's so sweet.
Not going to find anyone. As Golden Guardians, this bot lane for Array and Prismal, it is very strong early. You can see King and Destiny really respecting that, taking not just the cleanse, but...
Darshan. We have spotted enemy intruders at our base. Kill them. Oh, I guess Golden Guardians cannot get the reach around. Good movement from Copy, making sure that Darshan has a way to be able to walk out safely. That could have been dicey.
It could still be a split map, though. You can see Shaden. He's waiting. We'll find Ryoma. No split map for him. I think it's also nice to note, is the first time that Concept has locked in the Gnar this split. It is the 14th unique champion for Gnar. Or for Concept with this Gnar, as Concept has really been flexing the champ pool. We've seen him play the likes of some traditional picks from him, you know, like the Mundo, the Scion, the Singed, but also Garen, and now Gnar. Good to see Concept really expanding his horizons.
Yeah, definitely a far cry from the Singed and the Dr. Mundo, and even the Urgot that we saw him make a big name for himself during his, I want to say, AoE days, if I am not mistaken. It's a long time coming. Off of his first spring split for Immortals Academy as well. I'm still gonna have that Nasus in my head rent-free, because honestly it was such a banger game to watch unfold. Not obviously for any Team Liquid fans that were having to go through it, but for Golden Guardians Academy, these are the building blocks that they can look to build on. Whereas Cloud9, it's all going to be about how can Copy get out of lane, look to empower the side lanes in the early part.
And at the moment, it is the Viego ahead on the clear, as Shaden's cross map was denied by Ryoma. So Shaden is just now netting that level 3. And if he does end up crossing, I think he is spotted here by Ryoma.
Yeah, good ward from
Good
Tommy.
trinket. As Ryoma, GG, knows what's up. Shaden will have to cross here for nothing. And Acadian does have the option to match if he wants to contest Shaden at the trap.
Copy is expending all of his mana to force this push in. Does have the teleport so he can get the reset off of this wave. But he's having a tough time crashing it. Ryoma is making it super difficult for him to get it. And if Ryoma maintains this freeze, this will be difficult for Copy to return to.
I think it was down to 3 creeps, so Copy should be good to go. But Ryoma... that is the nice part about landing into a Talia, especially as the Victor. You can play at such range with your laser, is that it is a lane that you can get out of. You do lose shoves, but we all know what happens with Victor when you get to an item, 3 evolves. You become a scary champion, and one that C9, it is a rather low-range composition. Victor very much excels in those, so it will be a little bit of trouble for C9 to deal with as this game moves forward.
I think the other curious thing about Cloud9's setup right now is there's no true tank for this squad. And normally we've seen in games where if a Graves is locked in and there's not a front line, sometimes the Graves will take the mantle of going something like a Gore Drink or Bruiser build. But with Dark Harvest, this indicates that Shaden is not going to be looking to be a front line. He is looking to be just as opponent of a damage threat, more likely an Eclipse, lethality into crit build. And if he is just picking flanks and trying to split Golden Guardians in these team fights, making sure that you avoid the 5-stack Wombo, then Cloud9 can pull and dismantle separate members of Golden Guardians.
I think Shaden understands that the elongated fights, just given the Seraphine and the strength of Seraphine, are most likely going to go to Golden Guardians.
Yeah.
So if he's able to get down that upfront damage with the rest of his team and utilize the lethality build to snowball earlier in the game, that's what gives his team the best chance to win this game. As at the moment, things have been quiet on the side of C9. We are expecting them to have some more action. As Darshan not able to get the Trial by Fire auto, so we'll actually lose out on that trade. But he is just trying to force the TP out of concept. Does have a free reset himself when he wants, trying to get this wave in cleanly. Darshan will do so nicely.
You know what, Cubby? I will say that while Wild Rift is insanely fast-paced, the nice thing about coming back to League is that we can have the time to talk about these analytical discussions, because these are the things I still enjoy about League, the diversified build paths. You can think about how you want to optimize and set up for your game, and the fact that champions can opt into different playstyles. I like the fluidity that is offered here. So, I also just miss talking to you, so.
Yes! Oh, man. It's been a big week of Dubs getting Rafa back. As Shaden starting on the top side clear. Fun fact, if you are on red side, you start on the top side of the map. Well, I mean, it's both sides. But if you pull clear halfway through your second clear, you are able to take the dragon on time. Exactly what Shaden's able to do here. That dragon is taken on time in favor of C9 with some help from that bot lane that does have shove. C9 gets their first neutral of the game. We'll see what kind of play they make around Herald.
It's coming up in a minute and 30 seconds. Golden Guardians, if they can get the shove in here. So far, Ryoma doing a great job of chunking out Copy, equalizing CS, if not slightly outpacing. They're going to get this shove in. Golden Guardians now roaming with their support. Prismal can look for plays. He's got to be careful to not take away too much pressure from Array, because while he can wave clear safely on the Seraphine, this is going to give a massive CS advantage over to King.
Just talking about unique champs for concept. Prismal, Jake's Kittens. This is his 12th competitive game this split on his 11th champion. So Prismal is always known for having a large champion pool at Marksman. Seems to be carrying it along at support, showing he is ever flexible. Quiet early game, so we get to dive into more of the fun stuff. Stats. I believe it was Kangas City like stats. We had a stat game last time. So I'm just trying to deliver all the goodies here for Kangas. Speaking of builds, by the way.
From the vibe state.
Yeah. Acadian also opting for a little bit of a different Viego build. Looks to be the Kraken Slayer. Knowing that he has the support of the Seraphine in his back pocket. Kraken Slayer is a weaker one-item spike compared to the standard Sunderer build, but after that, it's better. So we'll see if he goes Bork next. Prismal doesn't have to cancel.
Not quite level 6, so can't go for the immediate wombo with Array there. Darshan taking a lot of damage, but he's baiting in so that Shaden can come clean up. Concept quick with the hop, and the animation is able to get out before Shaden delivers any lethal blow damage here. Copy, yeah, definitely going to have to flash. Acadian was looking to collapse here on Ryoma's gravity trap, and Copy now down to Summoner.
And this setup that Ryoma's had in the mid lane has really been good. Shaden, he flashes. Concept flash. Yeah.
Okay.
Smart flash by Concept actually going into the tower. Of course, Graves Q bounces on terrain. So going behind that, making sure that he dodges out on the bounce is good.
Yep.
Saves his health bar. Will be able to TP back as Darshan does not have TP and has to reset. So C9, they've rotated their full bot lane up to try and contest this Rift Herald against C9. Their comp is stronger earlier, but Golden Guardians comp team fights extraordinarily well. So Concept will not have Mega access to this, but we will see if we have the Wombo available for GG. Important that Prismal does not have access to his ult yet.
Yeah, it's only Array with the Encore, and even if Darshan can't get into the fight, he still has Cannon Barrage.
Oh,
but it's Acadian! Great smite, and Prismal's in there. No Curse of the Sad Mummy to layer it up, but he's getting the reset set up for Acadian. Already finds the first one. He's shaded on the Graves, gets another reset with the Heartbreaker. It's a double kill for Acadian, and Golden Guardians, off of that steal, have turned Cloud9's heads. They're going forward. Maybe that was a little too deep. Giving up the window for Cloud9 to turn things around, but Concept is getting ready to go Mega. He's getting ready to become a huge dinosaur, and the rest of Cloud9 are able to escape.
Are they?
Hold up. Okay, he scoops Destiny right back into Golden Guardians. Ryoma cannot follow up on the play, and yeah, me too, Ryoma. Me too.
Oh, man. And Golden Guardians, honestly, it still is a decent play for them. They at least get the Rift. But it could have been a 2-for-1 and tempo. Instead, they overextend. They look for more. Oh, Ryoma nearly net of the laser. Just out of range there. As Golden Guardians, I mean, it was a good play from them. I really like the setup from Prismal to commit to the engage after the steal from Acadian. It's just the top side of GG pushing a bit too hard.
Yeah, just watching this again. Clutch steal from Acadian. Prismal going in. It's a shame that he's not level 6, because that would have been the sickest. Mumu ulti on 4 people. Could have potentially netted so much more kills easily for Golden Guardians. Honestly, it's great with the first 2 opening that they get here, and then the overextension.
Yeah, Acadian goes deep. Team wasn't able to get around the wall. Concept didn't have Mega yet. Now Concept has Mega, trying to make the most of it. Would have been a creative look here on the Destiny, but Array's out of mana. Ryoma, it was a good flash from Destiny. That would have been a kill if Destiny wasn't able to flash out, so... honestly, well played by the bot laner of C9 again. Has the highest KDA in all of Academy. Showing off why there. Good use of flash, able to dodge out.
Also good use of the culling, and it wasn't necessarily a damage tool, it was a zoning tool. It prevented Ryoma and Prismal from being able to re-enter into that choke. And so... even though Concept thought that they could get the scoop onto Destiny, both of the remaining Golden Guardians members like, I really don't want to walk into Lucian ulti, man. I'm sorry. So, Golden Guardians will take the 2 kills. Cloud9 equalize with 3. They're going to get the second dragon of the game. And so Golden Guardians and Acadian crew say, okay, well, let's get some turret plates onto the top side of the map. Try to continue snowballing Concept.
I gotta say, though, the few kills that went over to C9, I think the bonus 2 are big because King, 1-0-2, sitting on that Gale Force. Keep in mind, this comp from Golden Guardians, while it has the Wombo, the team fight, they don't have that late-game traditional marksman that can pump out the damage. So the fact that C9's is ahead, really important for them.
Whoa, King is deep in there, and they can't get the Wombo out on the King before he obliterates Array. Prismal follows up and cleans up King as he was between 2 turrets, but man, what a display of power.
He's a little strong at the moment. I don't think he thought Prismal was there, which is why he went for that play so aggressively. But Prismal able to answer. There's still a kill going over to King. Does look to be a Leandries for Array. Seraphine honestly does so much healing, you don't really even need the Moonstone. So this will hurt Acadian a bit, but we will see.
I was gonna chime in on that as well. I think after watching Josh play Seraphine, I've been shown the ways that you don't need a typical support or healing item for Seraphine. You can just go full damage, and the enhanced W still does enough healing that you don't miss it. And then
it kind of bumps. Your
high notes from Seraphine's Q are just like insanely powerful.
Yeah, I like the Leandries on Seraphine. Just, you know, a lot of AoE range damage, ability haste obviously feels very good. So, a lot of options for the builds that we see champions going this game. Nice to see some of our players, I think, making some decent decisions around those. Another one, Leandries for copy instead of the Everfrost. Again, netting more towards that damage, trying to take down some of the high health bars that we will see on the side of Golden Guardians.
Back to the vibe state, Cubby. These are good times. You know, I'm not going to lie. I think we were definitely a little spoiled yesterday because we had some bloody bangers in both of our series.
I mean, that's just Immortals for you, first off. When Immortals plays, the game's exciting.
Shout out to Immortal Squad. Even though, unfortunately for them, they did not win either of their games, they still put on a hell of a show, and I very much appreciate that after coming back to Academy in the first week into the swing of things for the summer split. Golden Guardians and Cloud9 so far are taking a little bit of a slower approach. It was pretty darn cool to see them scrapping the Rift Herald, and props to Katie once again for getting the steal. But it's going to be a little bit more effort than that to be able to turn around against this composition. Golden Guardians, once again, we're reiterating that this is a huge team fight. Wombo and C9 trying to use copy to empower those side lanes.
As we dive into the mid game, turret plates have now fallen. Top lane turret looking to fall in favor of Golden Guardians. My eyes are really on Acadian and King. There's Acadian with the Wombo. If he's able to get that first reset, can run a fight from there. King is the member that has the most gold, the traditional marksman, whereas the Golden Guardians has none.
Ooh.
Concept stun. Concept.
What the? Okay, well, I don't know how he got through that wall, but it's okay. Cloud9 got the kill anyway.
He's dead. All right. Well, that means second Rift is going to go over to the hands of C9 as they prevent the first brick from going over to the hands of Golden Guardians. That means that Arshan actually nets that bonus gold. So good play from C9. Huge. With that, they open up a 2K gold lead. Add some more. Add a Kelly to it as well. As a good counter from C9. And Golden Guardians, they haven't netted the dragon yet. So I am really curious to see how they play around this one. Is Ryoma.
Nice flash, dodging out the tidal wave, but you cannot dodge out of the damage from King. Good calling, guns him down. Acadian now looking for the reset here. Heartbreak. Now, does he want to be the Lucian? He'll have the kiting potential here. Prismal coming in, flash! And saves the play and gives Acadian another reset. Darshan over the wall. Has to look for a good barrel here to get massive burst damage onto Acadian. Prismal buying space for Acadian to leave. Prismal might be subject to be the sacrificial lamb here, and Prismal will give his life for the greater cause of Acadian's life.
Darshan shoots the teacup. That goes down. Going to TP bot catch the wave, but Acadian answering back. Said we were going to have our eyes on him. Following up with the Wombo, able to shut down King, get some kills.
Once again, Acadian having to step up here for the Golden Guardian squad. As you said before in our little pre-show, walking into the series, Acadian, before the changes with Prismal coming in and eventually Leader also stepping up as well from Europe, Acadian has been the best performer for the squad. And he needs to really be able to land and drive that home against this Cloud9 squad.
Yeah, a lot of people forget, when Acadian stepped into that dig roster, and hold on.
Cubby.
Yep, we caster cursed him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Not in position with the rest of his team. He gets caught out, and that means third dragon and soul point. Ocean soul point at that. Going over to C9 is Ryoma. Try to force him off.
Chaos Storm comes out. Ryoma doesn't get any more out of it other than Cloud9 not being able to pursue into the jungle, but it's the third dragon of the game. Cloud9 now find themselves at soul point, and off of this minion wave, if they can push Ryoma off, they will guarantee this turret, and Concept is well aware of it, which is why he is teleporting to save that turret from falling. Or array, I should say.
Psych, it's the Seraphine. But turret is saved by the side of Golden Guardians. Still,
principle still counts.
Still, 4K gold lead in favor of C9. 3 dragons. And it feels like, I mean, the fights are close. Like, they're going even. Golden Guardians have been able to get resets, get kills. But they haven't been able to do anything outside of these big objectives. And I think that's been the big punish. Yeah, they won the skirmish mid, but Acadian didn't have ult, wasn't able to escape around the big objective that Golden Guardians really needed. That would have denied Soul Point. So going over to C9 would be very big. Ocean Soul against the Wombo combo team. If you survive the Wombo combo, there's not a lot of damage left in the tank here for Golden Guardians.
Yep. You're really counting on Ryoma to have an infinite mana pool and low cooldowns with more ability haste being put into his build. Ray will be able to deal some decent sustained damage over time, but you are, as Golden Guardians, you are asking for at least another 15 minutes. And Cloud9 can end the game in 5 once they get the last dragon.
Copy.
Oh,
another
good
one.
Seismic shove from Copy, man. Oh, well, Golden Guardians. At what cost is correct. Encore misses because Destiny flashes over it. Copy has been separated, but they're buying enough time. The Cannon Barrage completely slows Acadian. Copy still has the stasis available. Flashing over the spells. Oh my god, Cloud9 absolutely destroying Golden Guardians, outplaying them, outmaneuvering them, and now they will get aced at 19 minutes.
And Copy, man, this break week has been so good for him. Yesterday, solo killed Pretty both games before level 6. This time, with the help of Destiny, a nasty outplay coming from our young mid laner in NA. He hasn't had the best start to the split, but man, has he stepped up this week. Looking good. First time on Talia. Just for you, Rafa.
That was pure destruction from
That was
Cloud9.
nasty.
That, like, you at most think that Golden Guardians are going to be able to get 1 kill in that collapse. But man, oh man. First, getting the kill down on the concept, good stuff. You know,
I mean, he hit like every rock. I think he only missed 2 out of the 3 threat of volleys that he threw. Now, this is where things get filthy. Darshan Cannon Barrage does help do some work. A great flash from Destiny to get out of the Encore. But look at the Seismic shove. Keeping him in the Cannon Barrage, then going golden. Misses out on the 2 big spells. Flashes out of the Curse of the Sad Money. Copy, that is a highlight reel in 1 clip, man. That is disgusting.
Honestly, I don't have any more words. I think the play itself speaks louder than anything else that we could have said for Copy there. And as a player that has been actively advocating for himself to be promoted to the LCS, obviously there's a slight opportunity that maybe Cloud9 could have used him. They decided to go with Jensen instead. Yeah, and Copy is showing in this Academy split. It's like, this is why I deserve an LCS spot. Look how well I am playing on the Rift. Please, someone, give me a chance. And you know what, Copy? Continue putting out these games, man. We see them. Your fans see them. And we'll continue supporting and advocating as we do for all the talent here in the Academy.
Destiny helping make it happen too, as, yeah, this game, C9's so far ahead off that. Look at this gold lead. Up 8.5, almost 9K across the map as C9, they have Soul Point spawning soon, and look at the waves. Golden Guardians have no way to get even close to this Ocean Dragon at the moment.
It is complete darkness here for Golden Guardians' red side jungle. Copy pokes his head because they had vision of both of them, and the Seismic shove sentences Acadian's death. Prismal is forced to escape. An objective bounty for Ryoma is consolation prize for Golden Guardians as they're trying to desperately catch back up in gold, but Cloud9 have a pretty tight grip on this game.
I mean, they're so confident. Darshan just TP'd away from the Ocean Soul a few seconds before it spawned, but they see blood in the water. Ryoma.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this game's done.
We've had some one-sided games today, Rafa. It's been... I think for the side of Golden Guardians, it was a good idea, a good start. Honestly, that Herald play, if they don't overextend, I feel like this game could play out a lot differently. They can base first, have first say on the map, and also just be up in golden numbers. They didn't gift King a couple bonus kills, but I mean, we can't really say enough about C9 moving forward too, as Copy and King have been filthy this game. Across the board, it's been really a rare game where Shaden takes the backseat. Shaden's just kind of chilling. He's the one that's playing PvE. It's his team.
You know,
they don't need him.
In both of our series so far, there's still one more game where I can maybe get the fabled Shaden pop-off that Cubby has just been talking about for a month straight while I was gone.
You see the Viego highlight against Dig? That is filthy.
Yeah, but I wasn't there, so does it really count? Like,
is this the revenge I get for saying that you guys worked the mobile game? Does it really count?
Yeah, you, dude.
Well deserved, well deserved. Well deserved. We like to have fun here on this show, especially when it's the talent update. Get to have a bit of fun with that. But C9 looking to clean things up against Golden Guardians. Ocean Soul, Baron started. Darshan base tanking.
Oh, that's a lot of damage. I know you're GP, but you're not necessarily a front line. King's trying to cut them off with the culling. It's one shutdown. Prismal gets answered back, and King now unloads onto Concept before he gets to turn Mega, but it survives a little bit longer. Will he look for another re-engage? Shaden trying to get onto Ryoma. Goes Golden. Doesn't clip him out. It's up to Copy.
Oh,
Concept Mega has locked down Copy. And now King and Destiny, the only members left alive for Cloud9. King has got to turn this one around. Heartbreak over the wall. Flash. Cleanse away. King distances himself away. Playing with range advantage. King cannot get in line and look to lock down King. Destiny trying to buy as much time as he can. It's all about range. It's all about how far you can get in without getting destroyed by Acadian.
Flashes are down. King should be fine, but Golden Guardians, the Wombo, honestly, the engage from Prismal and the fact that Ryoma was able to get so much damage over the wall, they have no business being in this game. They have no business making any of these fights close. They made that fight even, 3 for 3, down in Ocean Soul, down 8k gold. Really well done out of Golden Guardians, showing the potential of this composition.
All starts here. And, you know, as a GP, I don't think you can frontline as effectively as other champions in the game. And Golden Guardians just making quick punishment of that capitalization right there.
The Ryoma outplay in the back half here is big, because Shaden was looking to finish him off. And Concept following up, too, in the choke. Really well played by GG. Still don't think this game's in their reach. They have scaling aspects as time goes on, but they're down so much gold at this point. C9, we're pulling off Baron, trying to get some bonus kills. They can return to it at any point, though, with Ocean Soul and Anami. No way that Baron can do significant damage to them. It's just up to C9 to start and finish it.
Yep. Cloud9. Everyone gets one, Cubby. You know?
Bringing it back from yesterday, yeah? Here in Academy, we give a mulligan. You know? Everyone gets one.
Cloud9, no stranger to a little bit of a overextension in the fights, as they almost disrespected Joey's Recon a little too hard in their series against Immortals yesterday. And then Cloud9 quickly tightened up the execution, said, okay, guys, enough fooling around. Let's actually close out this game, and let's get on and move on to game 2. Cloud9 setting up the vision control game, making sure that Golden Guardians cannot face check as easily. It's all about the zone control for Cloud9.
Concept did just show bot. He has a Mega Gnar prepped. As good job with the Gnar bar management. This is Concept's first game on Gnar, the split. Weaver's wall to cut him off.
Okay, Array has been completely split up from Golden Guardians' left side flank. Concept scoops up Darshan, but Darshan says, I'm willing to trade my life for Array, and Darshan isn't even going down yet. He is sustaining to the very bitter end, and there is no end for Darshan, but it definitely is the end for Golden Guardians. A team-wide ace, and Cloud9 don't even need the damn Baron. They're going to march it down the Nexus.
Darshan said, I wasn't able to face tank you all the first time. Let's try again. Darshan, he had the calculations right that time. Takes on all of Golden Guardian, shuts him down. Sigma male grind set right there.
Yes, sir.
Darshan stepping up.
Yes, sir.
C9, really, one mistake around the Rift fight, which Golden Guardians made a mistake afterwards, and then one mistake around that Baron. Besides that, clean game coming out from C9.
Now, Darshan said to Array, nice high notes, but my high notes in real life are better than yours, baby. I got the pipes, I got the vocals, and I've got this game 1 locked in for Cloud9.
I don't know where the barrels fall in that. Maybe, you know, that was a good opportunity, Rafa, to reference a shanty.
Oh, you know what?
Seaside Shanty. Those were popular during COVID times.
We'll tweet at Darshan after the series and ask for a sea shanty in honor of playing Gangplank. You know,
I feel like the condition. I feel like you have to do it, and then he has to follow. You said you'd want to sing with him. You have to throw yourself.
Oh,
out there
you're
too,
right.
Yeah.
I can start it off. I can start off like
we
the
can't
baritone,
play this
and then
card every time.
and then
when we do,
he'll layer it on top of it. Okay,
there we
well
go.
that is on my to-do list. Obviously making sure Darshan is willing to do it or wants to do it, but we'll figure that out. That's another time. For now, we're gonna be setting it to break. When we come back, it is halftime show with Kangas, the most handsome host ever, and of course not just because he's the only one on our show today. So stick around. We'll see you in a bit.